Okay, this is great, great. So everyone take Princeton. Okay, at this point, I assume that you took the one case already. So let's talk about that. All right. So as I noted, this topic is very simple. The flow of ideas, how people think about the management, right? From the 1980s. Okay? So very first idea of the management to the very current ideas about the management. So if you understand these ideas, okay, about 5 to 7 ideas, and that's it, done. Very simple topic, easy to understand, but there are a lot of ideas behind of this flow. We cannot cover all of this. This is a big topic. Okay, so we just covered very central ideas of very critical ideas. Okay, all right. Let's talk about that. Number one, a historical perspective provides a narrow way of thinking, a way of searching patterns and determining whether they recur across time period. True or false?
That would be false.
Very false. Why false, Josh?
Because historical perspective provides a broader way of thinking because it gives you more statistics on how things have worked. It shows you patterns and it gives you more information.
Exactly. That's why I kept all of this. Right? We take care of this. Okay? If it provides a narrower perspective, what for? Okay. Actually, historical perspectives provides several dimensions, several ways of people's thinking. Okay, so that's why we care about this. Okay, great. Any other idea on number one? All right. Number two, the classical perspective on management emerged during the 1800s. True or false?
True.
It's true.
True.
Hi, Rory. What is the classical perspective? Anyone? What is the classical perspective on management? Specified in this textbook.
It was like a more scientific approach to management where they focused more on just how efficient you can run a business or company.
Correct. It's a scientific approach. I think what is the scientific or engineering? Which terminology is better to describe this classic perspective? It's both, right? It's based on some numbers and based on records and based on some estimates and something like that. Yeah? The classical perspective is something like think about that, the production system and the conveyor belt system. So a worker like me is working. I move this thing, move it this way, and manipulate and send it. Okay. Then a manager measure the time from this moving and manipulation and send it. Okay. Then measure all the times. Okay. Then if there is a the better way to reduce this time, okay, probably manipulation time can be reduced, okay, or and manager actually control this. All right, so this is about what we talked about: the efficiency, reduce cost, reduce cost. It is emerged during the 1800s. Why? What happened in 1800s?
The Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, Industrial Revolution. Okay, so many scientific elements, many engineering elements jump into the management ideas. And anything else? supply demand. Supply demand. All right. So demand of products was surging. Okay? So if you produce the product, it was sold. Okay? So the point was that not a good quality product. Okay? Make a product with efficiency, reducing cost. Okay? So people just focus on efficiency at this time. Right? Make sense? Okay. All right. Any idea about the number two? Great. Number three, one of the criticism of scientific management is it did not acknowledge variance among individuals. True or false?
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay? So just efficiency. So that's why I distinguish all of this, efficiency and effectiveness. Okay? The scientific management is focused on efficiency. Then it did not acknowledge variance among individuals. Okay? There was a problem because we are human beings. Look, we're human beings. Okay? So we're not a machine. Okay? Number four, Bayer's unity of command principle emphasized that each subordinate receives order from one and only one superior. True or false?
That's true.
That's true. Okay, yes. All right. So this is an organization, right? Command organization. One subordinate receives orders from only one superior. This is similar with what? Very strict command system in the military, right? So Fayer's united command principle emphasized, actually it defines the command system in organizations. Okay? It is very similar with the military system. Very strictly defined, and clearly, simply defined. All right. And number five, unfortunately, Mary Parker Follett's approach to leadership stressed the importance of engineering techniques rather than people. Is it true or false? False, right? So, Mary Parker Floyd, this approach focused on the humanistic behavior, humanistic approach, right? Humanistic perspective. There are a lot of names, but humanistic perspective. What is the humanistic perspectives? The central idea of this perspective, what is that?
Isn't it just focused on like human interactions and relationships in the workplace?
Oh yeah, exactly. Huh? So humans, the central difference, the most important difference between this idea is from the previous one is very simple. Humans are human, not machine. Okay? So humans are impacted by many factors. Okay? Many factors in terms of the human's performance. Okay? This is a basic idea of humanistic behavior. All right? That's why you care about humanity. Okay? Even the simple experiment, all right? A group of people, and the other group of people. Okay? The two manufacturing sites, just the lights, right? The brightness, okay? Just manipulate. And humans are impacted by that. Better lights produce better performance. All right. So humanist behavior, humanist perspective is very simple. Among individuals are different. So we need to take care of this. Why? Why we need to take care of this? Why we need to take care of this? The differences among individuals. Anyone? You cannot lose here. Why people take care of individual differences? Because better performance. Okay? Better performance. Right? The ultimate goal of the organization is always better performance. Performance can be defined in many, many ways. All right. Performance can be defined like financial terms or some employee satisfaction or some humanistic things. Okay. Performance can be defined in many, many ways, but always ultimate goal of management is performance. Scientific management, scientific approach, humanistic approach, both have the purpose on the to increase the organizational performance. Okay? So you cannot lose this. Okay? Always the ultimate goal of the organization is performance. Okay. All right. Number 6. Theory Y proposes that organizations can take advantage of the imagination and intellect of all of their employees. True or false? True or false?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yes, that's true. So theory X, theory Y, theory X, theory Y. How do you define theory X? The assumptions. Theory X, theory Y. What is the X, Y man differences? Anyone? How do X and Y mans are different from each other? So these are assumptions about the human being. This is a long time assumptions of human being, not just new theory here. So what is a human being X? It's like, what are X-Men like?
For the theory X, the people really dislike work and they don't really want responsibility.
Yeah. So they need to control, right?
Yes.
And what about theory Y? Y men alike. What are Y men alike?
They like to put effort into their work and they like to have responsibility placed on them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So these are assumptions about human being. It's just a long time assumptions contradicting each other. So theory X, assumption Y. So we cannot say which one is absolutely correct. That's my perspective. So even one individual like me, actually, I have some like a characteristic traits of theory X in sometimes, and sometimes in theory Y, right? Assumptions, different assumptions. It depends on what situation is, what time is. Okay, so it is very hard to say this one is right, this one is not right. Okay, we cannot say it like that. Okay, we should understand we have both types of assumptions in the human being. So how to balance this with our organization, with the organization? Okay? The goal of the organization, the performance of the organization is very important. Very good, very good. So theory X, theory Y. This is also humanistic behavior, right? Humanistic approach, because it is focused on human, all right? The assumptions of a human being. All right, great, good discussion. Number 7, the scientific management perspective refers to the management thinking and practice that emphasize satisfaction of employees' basic needs as the key to increase worker productivity. This is false, right? Or we already talked about that. Yeah? This is false. All right, it should be not here. Okay, number 8. Contingency thinking is the ability to see both the distinct elements of a system or situation and the complex and changing interaction among those elements. It's a little bit tricky. Okay. It's a true or false? We have something to talk about this. Number 8. Is it true or false? It's true. All right. All right, Andrew. Why is this true? Andrew?
Because it's focusing on delivering that product at a higher level of quality, and you really want to make sure that you're giving the customer what they are wanting and making sure that they're satisfied with the product that they're receiving.
So in a general sense, I cannot say this is absolutely false. But in the definition of the ideas, Andrew, did you recognize that there is a systematic thinking and contingency thinking?
What?
Systematic thinking and contingency thinking when you read the textbook.
No.
All right. So in the general language, I don't think this is not a perfectly disagreeable, but there are two distinguishable perspectives in your textbook. Okay? One is systematic thinking, the other one is contingency thinking, I guess. So everyone should clarify this. Okay? This is definition of the systematic thinking. Okay, so systematic thinking is the ability to see both distinct elements of a system or situation and the complex and changing interaction among those elements. Okay, so systematic thinking is all about system, right? The system. The big difference is think about that scientific approach or humanistic approach. They are talking about the closed system. They not interact with other systems. Okay. The scientific approach, they just focus on the movement, timing, something like that, in a factory. Right? And humanistic behavior, just focus on people in the site. Okay? Then, systematic thinking is totally different. The inside the organization is one system, and there are many other systems. These systems are interacting each other. Then we can understand how organization can interact and make performance through these interactions. Okay? So this is a broad picture, better picture. This is systematic thinking. Right? Contingency thinking is a part of systematic thinking. So systems, right, interact each other. But contingency thinking says that, you know what, these systems are working each other, but not always in the same way. It depends on the contingency. So in some situations, this system, working very well, but in some situations, it doesn't work very well. So it's more and more complicated. Now you understand the systematic thinking and contingency perspective?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the definition of systematic thinking. Okay? So contingency thinking is more complicated. It depends on the contingency. Okay? All right. So systematic thinking and contingency thinking. All right? In the general language, I'm not sure we need to distinguish this, strictly or not. But in the some academic term or some our language, we need to distinguish this systematic and contingency thinking. Andrew, you got it?
Yes, I got it.
All right. Okay. So actually, based on a textbook, this is a false. This is a systematic thinking. Okay. Clear?
Yeah, I missed. I thought we were answering the next question. I was.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Okay. So that's why I say in the general language, it's not, completely disagreeable, because contingency thinking is part of systematic thinking too. Yeah? All right. All right, let's move to number 9. The inherent focus of TQM is on managing the tool organization to deliver quality to the customer. True or false?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So TQM, what does it stand for?
Total quality management.
That's right, total quality management. So TQM is the part of the, the following of scientific management. It's all about total quality management, efficiency, all right? Efficiency. Okay, so TQM has a lot of subtopics, all right? So in your operation management class, you will learn the subtopics of TQM, many subtopics. Okay? There are very, very interesting subtopics. Okay? I love this topic. All right, so we done. Okay? Any question about the work keys? Can I move on? All right. Okay, so we're done. And so learning objectives, this topic is very simple. So we talked about that already. Historical forces, things of production, humanity, okay, scientific approach, humanity, and system, contingency view, and contemporary things, something like technology and technology-driven workplace. Okay, very simple topic. Let's move on. So we are here, environment. Okay, so how actually people's idea is changing. All right, let's talk about the Ch2 case. There is a Ch2 case. It's based on the humanistic behavior. Okay, there are some situations you need to solve up. So I assume that you read the Ch2 case already. So you're gonna have team discussions. Okay? You're gonna have team discussions that we talk about these questions. And also you need to talk about what topics you will choose for the presentation one. Okay? What topics you will choose, you will present one. So I'm gonna create breakout rooms, 4 rooms. Okay? We have 4 teams. Okay. And 10 minutes. Okay. Please go to your room. Please go to your room and discuss these questions, and also what presentation topics you will choose.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
So Jamal, Juan, you all right? All right. All right, so you're coming back. So, all right. So, let's finish the presentation topics first. Okay. So, who gonna talk about cryptocurrency? Which team? Any team? No cryptocurrency?
We wanted cryptocurrency for Team 4.
Team 4. Okay.
Or no, Team 3. Team 3, not Team 4. Team 3.
All right. So cryptocurrency is on Team 4. And artificial intelligence, any team?
We'd like it, Team 2.
So Team 2, artificial intelligence. So let me start again. Cryptocurrency on Team 4, right?
No, we're Team 3.
Team 3. So Team 3, cryptocurrency.
Yes.
And artificial intelligence.
Team 2.
Team
Team
2. Okay. Internet of Things.
Team 1.
Team 1. And automation. Okay, no team. 3D automation, any team? No. 3D printing.
Team 4.
Team 4. So
Dr. Kong, we only have 2 people in Team 4.
yes, that's true. That's true.
Just FYI. Thank you.
All right, let me think about that. I can join your team too.
No,
Actually,
like,
I can join you.
failed.
Elizabeth, I couldn't hear you. Okay, so at this point, Juan Jamal, please go with this. I'm gonna help you. Okay, I'm gonna be your team 2. So you are actually 3. Is it better?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, great. Okay, so decided. Then we move to chapter case. Okay. So what is the case about? Anyone can start? What happened?
The company that Gary and Victoria work for has had some mishaps with a couple of sales reps conducting in some activities that were not of company policy. So they're being called to a conference, and they're going to discuss new leadership roles and stuff like that for this conference. And going off question one, are Connie and her staff are on the right track? I agreed. I think they are, because it's not enough to apologize for something like that. If you saw where some employees had found a loophole through the system to basically cheat, you have to put regulations to prevent future people from doing that.
All right. Okay. All right. Good point. All right. So, anyone else? Great, Josh.
Thank you, sir.
So, do you agree with that, everyone? Josh's point? How about the top-down style? So like setting up the conference, and it looks like a little bit top-down, so people, complain about it. How do you think about that?
That's one of the parts I have an issue with, because my answer for this is going to go into a lot of the question 2 and 3. I believe everything would be more effective, and it would help even from the top down if, like Gary and them were complaining about, when they ask for their opinion, they listen to it and then they do nothing about it. I think if they took everybody's opinion into consideration, it would give a more diverse opinion base, and you could put new strategies in and implement new rules to affect everyone as a whole overall.
So your point is related to number 2 too. Do you think a more participative and open culture can be imposed on managers with value statements and training sessions? Why? So value statements, training sessions will help to this? Anyone?
I think they would, because like you can set up training sessions to help managers, like instead of like to be less controlling and like kind of like promote employees, like promote the employees and not try to like just command them and tell them what to do. So you can kind of like create a environment that's more like just more positive. And then the like value statements, you can like use those as to determine like what behavior is right and wrong in the company.
Yeah, this is related to the strategy management actually. Think about that, value statements. This is just a statements, okay? But organization is a group of people, humans. They think in different ways, okay? Their own ways, always. So if there is no specific goal everyone can share, okay? Everyone can share, then it's a problem, because people go their own way, all right? Think this way, think that way, and go its own way. So actually, value statements or some training sessions can provide a chance to share these directions, the directions of organizations. Okay, then sales reps, your performance, performance measure. It's quite different from some other people. The sales. Okay, but effectiveness is problem too. Okay? But there are some conflicts. They go their own way. Right? At this point, value statements, training sessions could help to have the same way to go, same goal. Okay? All right, great. All right, so it's a very simple case. Okay, very simple case. It looks nice. Why do you think Victoria and Gary are on the defensive? Might the emphasis on core leadership behaviors be handled in a different way? Any other ideas?
I think they're on the defensive because they know when they go to this meeting, when they're asked about their opinions and their thoughts, they really don't matter. They stated in the thing that they're always going to side with Connie and her staff, and they're going to ask for their opinions, but they're not even going to listen to them or consider any of them. And I think they're upset because they see it as a waste of their time to go to this when it's not going to change anything. And I think if they would handle it more of being able to ask for people's opinions and implement different strategies that the employee base overall agrees with, then it would be more effective.
Exactly. This is humanist behavior. People are different from machine. People are people. Human are human. All right. So, this topic, the historical perspectives focus on always, related with the performance too. How to define your performance is very important to determine your perspective. If you focus on financial returns from the organizations, probably your approach will be based on to increase financial return. The humanistic behavior, if you think about the people, then probably humanistic behavior, right? Like a job satisfactions or some happiness or something like that, okay, will be more important in your approach. Okay? So approach and performance, not inseparable, not separable. All right, approach and performance. How to define your approach is related how to define your performance, and vice versa in other ways. Okay? All right. Any other ideas to handle in different way? Abby, you have some comments?
I think one way that they could have done it differently is Vittorio and Gary just knew that they had to go there and sit there and nod and like agree with everything they said. So I think maybe another way that it might be more effective is to have like an interactive workshop and that kind of thing so that everybody can kind of voice their opinion, at least to other managers, and just talk through things and how they would manage their part with leadership.
All right. So in my perspective, in these organizations, it should be, what's that? Rebuild the organizational culture to cooperate each other, and also actually this organization is a very disappointing moment at this point. So probably they need to rebuild this culture and participate in open culture. Yeah. Then they need to think about that. They need to talk about that. They find a way to build up a new culture. Okay, that's what I was thinking when I was reading this case. Very simple case, but it has a lot of implications. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about this case? Very simple case, so I want to go a little bit fast. Any other comments? Okay, then, so let's wrap up. Okay, so we talked about that, the flow of ideas. Okay, classical perspective, humanistic perspective, management science perspective, and systematic thinking, contingency view, okay, and total quality management. And these are current trends: technology-driven workplace, social business, and people-driven workplace. So we already talked about all of this. Yeah? So I'm not going to fully replicate this. Just summarize. Classical perspective, 19th, early 20th centuries. Okay, rise of factory system, right? Closed system. This system doesn't interact with other systems. Okay? Structured training, employee satisfaction, large complex organizations require new approaches to coordination and control. Scientific management, bureaucratic organizations, administrative principles. So this is scientific management is all about calculations, right, numbers, and this bureaucratic organizations, administrative principles, these are organizational forms that make this scientific management possible. Right? That's why these are getting together. So these are techniques and these are organizational forms to support this perspective. All right, efficiency. Scientific management is about efficiency. So there are some techniques. Okay? And we just learned this. Bureaucratic organizations, Max Weber, organizations on impersonal rational base. This is correlated with scientific approach. Okay? Depends on rules and records. All right. Administrative principle 2. Okay? Planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, controlling, all of these to make it possible to do scientific approaches. Unity of command, division of work, unity of direction, Scala chains, okay? In closed system, how to organize this organization to do scientific approach, okay? So this is closed system approach to emphasize efficiency. Then humanistic behavior. Look, humans are not machines. So understanding human behaviors, needs, and attitudes are more important, right? Importance of people, contrast to scientific management. Empowerment, informal organizations, acceptance theory of authority, and some studies okay, to support the humanistic behavior. Hoffman studies, very simple studies. Okay? People put in different situations, different environments, and they compare performance. And this compares, it actually shows that performances are quite different. So humans are different, all right? So humanistic behavior is important. And what I did? Yeah. All right, then theory X and theory Y, we talked about. Maslow's hierarchy is a desire hierarchy. People have different level of desires as their desires are achieved. The first one, they want to eat, they want to sleep, all right? Biological needs. The second stage, they want to be safe. They want to be safe. Okay? And third stage, they want to be respected. They want to be respected. Fourth stage, they want to be realize themselves. Okay, so each stage, people have different stages. So to perform better, or to make them perform better, or to satisfy them, right, this desire hierarchy should be achieved. Okay, provided. All right, theory X, theory Y. All right, this is a behavioral science approach. Scientific method, sociology, psychology, anthropology, and something like that. So, okay, humanist perspective is good. All right, I agree. So, why don't we combine some other fields of science in humanistic approach? And this is the the example of scientific, humanistic, behavioral scientific approach. Look at this toilet. All right, toilet. It's not clean, not good. And the owner of this gas station just put a sticker here. A fly, a small fly sticker here. Then actually this became very clean. This is an example of behavioral science approach. So you just think about other scientific fields to increase your performance. Okay? So this is an example of behavioral science approach. All right, then quantitative perspective, management science. Oh, actually the humanistic behavior, organizational development, this field is, we have great Professor Eric Cushins. He is specialized in HR. So please, if you have any specific interest or specific questions about this field, please see Eric Cushins, Professor Eric Cushins. Okay, he is teaching the principle of management. Also, he is teaching some HR classes, leadership classes. Okay, and management science, numbers. This field is related with operation management, right? Operation management, focus on physical production of goods and service. We have Professor John Groth, you know that, okay? You know him, John Groth. He is specialized in operation management class. So if you are specifically interested in operation management, please see him. Information technology is Professor Thelma Monroe White, right? Professor Thelma Monroe White. So please see her if you are interested in this field. All right. So, and systematic thinking, systems. Okay. So far, these ideas was closed system, inside of system. Okay? Then people think, this is just one system, our company, our organization. There are many systems too. How do these systems are interacting each other? These are systems thinking. Set of interrelated parts that function as a whole to achieve a common purpose. So there are subsystems and synergy. Right? Why do you care about system? Because one system meets the other system that makes synergy. Not 1 + 1 = 2. I don't like it. 1 + 1 = 2. It's not a manager. It's not a business. Okay? 1 + 1 should be more than 2. All right, the circles of causality. So this is a systematic thinking, all right? And small things is interact with each other, okay? In the systems. Contingency view, all right. Okay, I agree with the systematic thinking, okay? So business is an interaction of systems, but these systems not always in work in the same way, all right? So every situation is unique, all right? Managers must identify key contingencies for the current situation. It depends. Every other factor is the same, but it works differently. It depends. Then, it's so complicated situations. All right, so complicated situations. All right, this is contingency view and technology-driven workplace. All right, technology. Needless to say, technology is very, very important these days. Okay? And just, some phenomenon, big data. These days, big data is important. People don't know how to define big data. Big data, you just remember 3V, okay? Volume, velocity, variety. High volume, high velocity, high variety. Then this is what we say big data. Okay, this is big data. So these days, big data is used a lot. And supply chain management is all about business process. All right. We talked about the business process, line staff things. Okay. This is all of this, each step. All right. They analyze it, the supply chains. Okay. Then improve efficiency and effectiveness. Okay. So this is part of operation management class. Okay? This is big data. This is part of information technology class. Okay? So if you have, a sense about this map of the subtopics, it will help to understand the big picture of management. Okay? All right, then I'm not gonna replicate this. People-driven workplace, bossless workplace. You said so, right? You don't like top-down, bossless workplace. And work from home. There are a lot of changes these days. Yes, employee engagement. I'm not gonna emphasize this again and again and again. All right, people really, really like it. All right, then. Oh, it's done. All right, how was it? Chapter 3. No, chapter 2. Was okay? All right.
It was good.
All right, great. So, very simple topic, but there are a lot of ideas behind all these ideas. Okay? It's pity that I cannot cover all the ideas, okay? But we just, look, very, very important, very critical ideas, the flow of ideas. Okay. Now, next time on Thursday, we're going to talk about chapter 4, managing in a global environment, international business. Okay, international business. You will take international business class in the following semesters. I don't know what semester you will take, but so this is the principle of management. I cover the big picture of the management field. Okay? Each sub-field will be introduced, okay, from time to time. Then you have a good picture of the management. All right, so next time and in the next week, exam and presentations. That's pretty much about chapter 2, today class, today meeting. Any question, comments? All right, good discussions. I love your discussions. Thank you so much. I will see you on Thursday. All right.
Dr. King,
Yes.
could you send the PowerPoints by chance, please?
I'm gonna upload in all the PowerPoints on the Canvas. That's
Okay.
enough, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, if you could upload them to Canvas, that'd be awesome.
All right. If you miss it, you send me an email to remind me.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Okay.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too.